Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapine, and you're just seconds away from watching our exclusive sit-down. Our insider, Elise Jesse of allbengals.com, talks with C.J. Uzomah about so much. The Bengals tight end has always been a fan favorite, but this year, given the success he's had, the touchdowns and big moments, in the cool press conferences and news conferences that we've aired right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, I think you want to hear from him even more. So Elise was able to talk with him. You'll hear that interview coming up in just a second. But first, a word from our new sponsor, MyBookie.ag. Do not delay. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and it's time for you to start winning big. And you can do that with MyBookie. Whether you're banking on the Rams and OBJ to roll this weekend over the 49ers, or maybe you just think Tampa Bay is going to coast in the NFC. Maybe you like prop bets like, I don't know, Jamar Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year. You can do all of that and so much more in one spot, mybookie.ag. Plus, right now, they're going to double your first deposit. Double it! Think about that. That's a lot of free cash that you can use to win even more money to buy cool stuff. And you can do that right now by going to mybookie.ag. Use promo code BengalsTalk, and you're going to get double your first deposit. So if you make a $50 first deposit, guess what? Now you have $100 to use at mybookie.ag. So don't delay. Get in on the action today. Start winning big and getting some money. Again, mybookie.ag, promo code BengalsTalk. Here it is. Without further ado, Elise Jesse goes one-on-one with C.J. Uzomah.
All right, CJ. I wanted to dig into Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to call it an Instagram series.
I love that.
That's the only platform that I've seen it on. So I'll just call it the Instagram series. For people who don't have Instagram or are watching this and wondering what the heck Wellness Wednesday is, will you just explain what it is and how you came up with the idea to start doing it?
So I came up with the idea first in California, and it was primarily because I was out there training a little bit, hanging out with friends during the off season, and there were so many just like healthy food options that I was like, man, this is ridiculous. Like growing up in the South, like, you know, I'm used to fried chicken, like the whole 9 yards, like nothing like, I mean, they got acai bowls, they got this, like just the craziest thing. So one Wednesday, one of my friends woke me up and he had some shots for me. His name's Casey, staying at his house, and Mark, and he had he was like, oh yeah, I got some juices and all this stuff. I'm like, what in the world? I don't know what this is. Give me some biscuits and gravy and I'm good. So, I felt great, honestly. Like I started doing that a little bit. I felt really good and had productive days, and I kind of stuck with it. And pretty much all it is I'll either I have companies now that kind of give me certain things, or I go to, you know, like a local juicery here and get some shots, get some wellness shots, get some juices, depending on my mood and how like I'm feeling throughout the week, whether it's like an immunity shot, whether it's like a de-stress shot, whatever the case. And I kind of just drink it and tell how it is. And sometimes they're actually really good. And majority of the times they're not great. They make me feel great, but they're not great. And yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of like a fun little thing to do. The majority of my Instagram is, me playing football or my dog as of late. So I thought I'd just kind of throw a little twist into it and have some fun with it. And yeah, it's been fun to do.
It adds some spice to your football dog dad page.
Right. Exactly.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
I thought, I forget which one it was, but I was watching one and I thought one of those shots was going to come back up.
Oh, I'll be completely honest. There's been two where I'm glad the videos ended because I've had to just like recover for a second before I start the next video because I'm like, oh man, that one was spicy. That one wasn't the best.
Do you take them on empty stomach? Well, for everyone watching, when he says shots, it's not a shot of tequila. It's a shot of like turmeric juice or lemon, whatever. It's always something very healthy.
All of them have cayenne, all of them have pepper, all of them have turmeric. There's some words there that I don't think are words. I'll just be honest. They make up some words on some of these little like labels. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. It has to be good for you. And I look it up and it ends up it's good for inflammation or whatever. But yeah, they're wellness shots.
Has it made you feel relatively good throughout the season? this year?
Yeah, I'll say, I think the next day. So it's convenient that I started on Wednesday because Thursday is our harder day of practice. And so the next day I definitely do feel a little more juiced, pun intended, for practice and for meetings and things like that. So that's super convenient that I chose Wednesday because Thursday's the hard day. So yeah, I think there are benefits to it, and it's good to let people know too that I'm not Ocho Cinco out here eating McDonald's every day. I'm taking Wednesday just for the wellness aspect, and then I'll go back to McDonald's on Thursday or something.
I think Chad Ocho Cinco is just an absolute freak that he can eat that every single day and still be fine and still function.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, let's dig back into last year because 2020 honestly sucked the life out of pretty much everybody. And then you had football coming up, and I don't know if you were thinking about this being a chance to kind of get away from everything that was actually going on in 2020 with the pandemic and everything. But you start football season, week 2, you go down with an Achilles injury that ends your season. What kind of went through your head when they told you that you would not be back in 2020 and now you had to start a journey of rehab?
I think I've been super blessed to have so many great people in my life. So right when it happened, obviously I was distraught. I was like, man, this is terrible. Like you said, I thought that, still think that when I'm in the locker room, when I'm in the stadium, when I'm playing football, it's a chance for me to get away from everything. So being able to be in the locker room, practice, go to meetings with the boys, and kind of just push to the side for just a moment what was going on, it was a relief, right? And so when that happened, it was incredibly tough. But I think the thing that kind of helped me was knowing that there was nothing that I could do to expedite the process of rehab, right? So, Nick and the guys, they took care of me. We went pretty hard, pretty quickly, and it was necessary. But, having the support system that I have, having the friends that were just I mentioned this before, but I had this group message, and probably my best friend and his family, they would see videos of me running, and they would just go crazy in the group chat. And I'd come back and have 75 messages. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so they were encouraging my parents. Obviously, they were, they know to kind of keep their distance when something like this happens, just because I need some time and space. But they were unbelievably supportive in helping me. And again, just, the guys here, Nick, Berto, the boys helping me out and kind of, being able to rehab a little bit with Joe and Trey helped, and Joey. It was a collective group, and it was nice. It was nice to be able to stay here and be around the team as much as I could be with everything going on. And it was a process, but they made it enjoyable.
Well, and now you're just, I feel like you're so much more involved in the offense this year and so productive. I'm assuming that all the sacrifices that you made in rehab to get to this point were well worth it for you, right?
Oh, 100%. A million percent. I did so many calf raises. I don't want to think about it. Just saying calf raise, and I kind of cringe a little bit. But it definitely made it worthwhile.
And you and Burrow seem to have an incredible relationship. How did that progress into what it is today? Because obviously I'm assuming you just met him when he was drafted number 1 overall to the Bengals. So how did that just kind of blossom and progress into what we see now? I am what you like to call a talker. So, oh, really? Shocking.
When everything, just off rip, I was in his ear a little bit, just talking, chatting up a little bit. And then once he had his injury, I hit him up a few times when he was out in California. And when he came here, I was, fortunate enough to be on the kind of tail end of my rehab. And he was, in the middle, that's kind of the toughest part of his. So
yeah.
I just kept talking to him, and I was like, I know, he'd wake up one day and it'd be a bad day. He'd be like, man, I'm really feeling this, whatever. I would just still talk. I just was like, what's up, man? Hey, just keep going. He's like, CJ. The way I would say it, he'd be like, even if it was like, oh man, this is going to be tough, he'd be like, it's CJ. I can't not, smile at him right now. And so I just kept that going, and he's awesome. He has a great attitude. He's one of the strongest people. I mean, that injury was tough, and even his bad days, I was like, dang, this man is grinding right now. So it kind of, I'd say it's kind of that, just me just being in his ear, talking to him, just talking it up. I mean, the chemistry we have in the locker room is great, so that helps. And yeah, just me kind of being goofy, I guess, kind of helps.
Well, I feel like since covering you in 2015, you've always been like the funny, lighthearted, like you lighten the mood in the locker room no matter what is happening. Have you always been that way?
Yeah, I think so. I think, in high school, I definitely was. I think really what kind of allowed me to like know that I'm allowed to keep doing this was in college. One of the tight ends, his name's Philip Butzenkirchen. We kind of grew up playing against each other in high school, and I saw the way he was in the locker room. Like, as a freshman coming in, you're kind of just like, man, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do, whatever. And I saw him just goofing off. Like, I mean, I'm a clown. This man is like the king of clown. Like, he was great. And so I saw that, and I was like, oh man, this is great. I can show my personality. I don't have to like be reserved or whatever. As long as my actions on the field speak for themselves, I can be this person. So like be who I am. And so, yeah, I think that kind of helped me like calm down. Came in here rookie year. Obviously, I was a little quieter. I'm still a rookie, but it allowed me to show my personality, I think.
Well, and not many people are able to do that or feel comfortable enough to go into work and show who they really are. To me, it's refreshing to see someone like you be able to do that. Does it just make life just a little bit easier when you're able to just be yourself and come in and not worry about how people perceive you or react, because you pretty much always get a good reaction?
Yeah. I haven't gotten a bad one yet, so that's positive. There are times, I mean, I pick and choose too, obviously, right? Like, I'm not like a clown 24/7.
You're not rolling into meetings.
I tighten up, right? So, but I think it's fun and cool again, our chemistry right now in the locker room is something that I haven't seen in a long time, but I think, me coming in and having Jamar, right, and just treating him like a little brother. Like, Jamar and I talk crap to each other the entire practice if we have to. Like, we're at each other's necks, and it's all in good fun. And so that makes it, that adds to the chemistry. It builds it up a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of just adds a fun dynamic. And for me personally, I'm just like, man, this is a huge weight off my shoulders if I can express who I am as an individual to my teammates who are my brothers, who I'm with 24/7. I mean, I am with them so much that if I had to put on guys and act like someone I wasn't, I think that would take a mental toll on me. So it's nice that they're as accepting as they are, just to it's CJ being CJ. Nice. Like, that's just big bro acting like a little brother right now.
Okay, so in practice with Jamar, and you're talking smack to him, what is something that you can target? What's the first thing that you kind of go after with him?
Oh man, I mean,
I'm sure you have a million.
There's like a plethora of things. Sometimes, I'm not kidding you, there would be times where we're in the huddle and I would just stare at him, and he'll like look around and he feels me staring at him, and he'll just look and be like, well, what do you want? And I just won't look. Like, I'll just stay staring, and he's like, something's wrong with CJ, man. He'll like look away. Something's wrong with CJ. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of like things in the weight room. He says, he's got some funny vernacular, so I'll make fun of the way he says something or the way he addresses something. And if he says it like early in the day, I'll just go with it. Like, the entire day is just that. And he's like, all right, bro, I get it. And he'll just smile and laugh. And I don't know. It's fun just we just make fun of each other a little bit. It's nice.
When you say vernacular, what do you mean? Like, he uses different words that you don't hear very often? Yeah,
I mean, he like they'll just be like, oh, we don't say that where I'm from. Nah, we got something different for that. Like, in the weight room, he'll say, I'm not gonna completely say what's said, but he's like, no, I just call it that. That's just what I call it where I'm from. I'm like, what? No, what? That is a universal saying that everyone uses. He's like, nope, not me. Like, whatever you say so, bro.
So he just takes liberties and makes up his own words.
100%. We got a Jamar dictionary. That's what he needs to have, a Jamar dictionary, just have words that are just his.
That's hilarious. You should definitely establish a dictionary for him. That would be hysterical.
I think that actually is. That's a smart idea. TM, trademark that one there. Copyright. I don't know which one it is, but one of those.
That would sell. I think that would sell really well.
I agree.
You keep up with that.
Yeah.
Just make sure you trademark it first before you put it out there.
Right.
How do you feel about Myles Garrett putting your guy, Joe Burrow, into his little quarterback graveyard thing? That was interesting.
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest, I thought that was a very clever idea. Like with what he did and how he I was like, oh man, dang, that's okay. I see you. As someone who I'm like, dang, I want to be a part of the holiday spirit. I was like, man, all right, he did his thing for that one. But at the same time, you're like, that means he sacked our quarterback, man. It's not something you want to see. So obviously, as an offense, we as a unit that prides themselves in trying to take care of our quarterback as much as we can. You see that and you're like, oh no, that's not something you want to see somebody else do in the future, right? So, yeah, we're definitely upset with ourselves for allowing that to be the case and for allowing him to have Joe's name in his graveyard or in his yard. That's graveyard, and on the back of that little trench coat that he had. So we're gonna have to just make sure that that doesn't continue to happen, and with him, with Clowney, with whoever else we play. I think that's kind of the message that was that I took from that.
Over the last couple of years, I've noticed just some players would text me or call me after games and just let me know what was going on, and they weren't really happy. But this year is totally different. I don't know what has changed, but 2021, even after losses, players are still upbeat. They're still positive. You guys are still talking about the positivity in the locker room and everything. What has gone into that change? Because it seems like a drastic one, like night and day.
Yeah. I think just the overall culture that we're buying into from Coach Taylor and the entire staff. I think, his first year, when a new coach comes in and a new staff comes in, everyone's like, okay, nice. Let's change this. This is going to change right now. And, as a player, you're like, okay, nice. Yes, that is what we ultimately want, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to be, a couple game thing. It's going to take some time. And I think right now what we have in the locker room, the pieces that we've added, the people that are buying into the culture, the connection, the chemistry that we have is it's just unique. And I think that's the best way to put it is, I think we're treating each other like brothers, and we're out there in practice, and we're not, if someone, has a bust or something, it's not, if I were to say something to someone else, it's not them being like, oh, CJ's, he's being an ass or whatever. It's like, oh, wow, say I say something to TV, right? Or TV says something to me. We're not taking it personal. We're taking it as we know what we need to do to win the game and to be the best that we can be for the team. And so we're not taking it personal. We're taking it as, all right, you're right. I got to make that, or I got to do that, or, things like that. And, chirping from offense to defense, even it's like, okay, nice. Little things, or we're uplifting each other. It's something where we're not taking personal digs at one another. It's truly uplifting. And, not to say that it completely wasn't in the past, but it's on another level this year.
So it sounds like you guys are able to hold each other accountable.
Right. As opposed to.
And it's just kind of flowing a lot better this year.
100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Great stuff there from Elise with Uzomah. Uzomah was, like I said, become a fan favorite, someone that I think a lot of people root for, and he's a free agent to be. So we'll see if he'll stay in Cincinnati beyond this season, but certainly a big part of what the Bengals are going to do if they're going to have success on offense in the second half of the year. So hit that subscribe button. We have exclusive interviews like that one coming your way for the rest of the season. You're not going to get this coverage anywhere else. Ring the bell, and don't forget to go to our new sponsor, MyBookie.ag, promo code BengalsTalk to get double on your first deposit. Until next time, I'm James Rapien signing off for now. Thank you so much for watching right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.